I want to change the topic to just a general understanding of audiences and related kind of quality and derivation. So I talked to you guys in the setup about deterministic versus probabilistic and the kind of the debate between the two, and it's really not a choice. And Arun, I want to start with you. And you said there's nothing wrong with probabilistic, and people don't spend enough time on the integrity of the data. So what's happening there, and what's going to happen more?
Well, I think, look, there are certain data sets that are available behind walled gardens, and they have certain limitations to what they can and cannot do. And I really don't see this as a choice between, there are certain limitations that exist and you're going to have to operate within them. I think what needs to happen in both cases is to say, do we have fundamentally a good idea of where the data is getting sourced from, what is getting collected? Is that when I say that an audience segment is somebody who's interested in fashion, am I defining it the same way across these different data sets? Are the taxonomies similar? And if they're not, then even if it's deterministic, it fails because I'm actually not reaching the audience I think I am. And I think that a lot more attention needs to be focused on some of those elements. Where have you sourced this data from? How frequently do you refresh it? How aged is this data? And compare that to the category that I'm operating in. If it's a frequently changing category and my data is a year old, should I really be using that or not? So I think some of those issues need to be addressed before we actually get into the rest.
Yeah, and Brian, when we talked about this, you said a lot of people just are confused and don't understand. So do we need is this an industry taxonomy effort that's needed, or what can we do to broadly and scalably understand some of these issues around quality and derivation of data and where it comes from?
I think consumer identity is the fundamental challenge of marketing services now, right? That's the key to unlocking value is consumer identity and understanding it. We'll never get to a category standard because the industry thrives on information asymmetry. Everybody wants to know more than their competitor, and everybody wants to know more than the marketplace. And so, the question is not deterministic versus probabilistic. In most cases, advertisers have a very narrow and deep view of their consumer, right? They know a small number of consumers relatively, and they know a lot about them. And what we have to do in the agency world is help amplify that understanding of their consumer. Tell them things they don't already know about their own consumer, but also model out people that are their potential consumers. So they have the consumer they know, we have the consumer they want to know and want to reach. And all of our investment in data and technology and the services we wrap around that have to be about an amplified understanding of consumer identity. So it's all it's deterministic and it's probabilistic, and you're seeing a cottage industry crop up to answer these questions. In the meantime, Google and Facebook still have in most cases the best understanding of consumers, and they're going to hoard that as much as they possibly can.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to change the topic again. Another thing we spoke in the setup is this idea of advertising and commerce coming closer together. So let me just do yes, no, quickly down the line. Advertising and commerce, is it coming closer together?
Programmatic funnel.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right. I'll start with the programmatic funnel over here. Tell the Amazon piece, because I think that was an interesting observation.
I don't see a future where we aren't curating back catalogs of content at the top level of Amazon with Prime and curating those as private marketplaces for clients, and then creating kind of the rational side of why you should buy a product in the middle in some of their marketplaces, and then optimizing the bottom part of their funnel with search. I just do not see a reality where it's not emotional, rational buy all on one platform.
A continuum. And Doug, one of the things that you said is the point of engagement and the point of transaction has converged through media. So talk more about that.
Well, I mean, somebody said something that was really interesting to me, which is that the mobile device is the way to people's passion. It is the gateway to people's passions, right? So if clients, if marketers want to actually gain the attention of people around their brands, people pay attention to the things they're passionate about, right? And so mobile devices have fundamentally changed the way we actually engage with content and the way that we can instantaneously learn about a product, learn the price of that product, and buy that product if we want to buy that product at that moment in time. And so that is fundamentally, I think if there's one thing that will continue to transform our clients' way that they market, it will be mobile. Because it is transforming not just the way that we engage with our passions and with content, but fundamentally the way we shop and we buy.